Election Day is almost here, and I had the opportunity to ask the candidates for U.S. Senate in South Carolina the same 14 questions. I met with Senator Lindsey Graham in our Fox Carolina studios and traveled to Columbia to meet with Jaime Harrison. Here's what they told me about plans to fix the economy. What is the biggest economic challenge South Carolina is facing right now, and what are your plans to fix it?
There are a lot of economic challenges, many of them caused by the coronavirus. But, you know, when I decided to get in this race, I stepped back and I said, why, South Carolina is such an amazing state. It's a wonderful state with amazing people. But why are we always on the top of all of the bad lists and at the bottom of all of the good lists? What is dragging us down? And I started looking at some of the historical disparities and inequities that we have in the state, particularly in the rural parts of the state. Healthcare. Many of our rural hospitals have closed. In many of our rural counties, they don't have specialists like OBGYNs. Actually, 14 out of our 46 counties have no OBGYNs. Infrastructure. We don't have the infrastructure of the 21st century. Broadband. 38% of rural communities in South Carolina have no access to broadband, and that is creating difficulty for attracting businesses into areas. Also, our roads are some of the worst in the country. I mean, there are potholes that we can find here in Columbia that are bigger than me. Our pipes are old and are falling apart. We got 40 communities right now with lead levels higher than the federal standards in terms of in their water. And so we need to find ways to attract more economic opportunity here. But in order to do that, we have to do some of the fundamentals. Build better schools, educate our kids, make sure that we have good health care, make sure that the infrastructure is good. And if we can do those things, we will see that our economy will boom as a result.
What is the biggest economic challenge South Carolina is facing right now, and what are your plans to fix this?
The biggest challenge is to get back to work. We need a vaccine sooner rather than later. And if we get a vaccine later this year, it will be an Herculean effort by President Trump to get a vaccine that quick. But the biggest problem we have is labor. We need, qualified workers. We need to make sure that our schools are training people, give them the skills they need to compete in the 21st century. So if you're trying to open up a business, low taxes and low regulation, the worst possible thing for South Carolina is for the Democrats to take over the House, the Senate, and the White House. They're going to raise your taxes. They're going to be big government's going to just blossom. Health care will be consolidated under the government umbrella. You'll lose your private sector health care. The best thing we got going for us in South Carolina is a good workforce, a reliable workforce, good tax structure, reasonable regulations. So that's the combination of keep the economy humming. Reliable workers, well-trained workers, good tax policy, good regulatory policy to make sure that people will stay in South Carolina. People from all over the world have come to our state because we offer them a good package of a trained workforce, good regulations, reasonable regulations, and a tax environment that rewards hard work.
To see more from Graham and Harrison, go to our Fox Carolina News app or our Fox Carolina YouTube channel. Both candidates answer 14 questions you can watch online and in our newscast. I'll bring you updates on air leading up to Election Day.